stopwatch on because I've got 10 minutes. So first of all, I want to welcome you all, and it's product testimony. And when you are involved in a business, it's so important to be able to speak from the heart, knowing that you've used products. And it's exciting when we listen to our friends, colleagues, distributors who are able to give a testimony, because it strengthens our belief. And that's what it's all about. So tonight I've got two lovely ladies online. I've got other people as well, but tonight I'd like to call first a dear friend of mine, Joanne, and a distributor. She's been with me for 5 years. And Joanne, I'd love you to, there you are, she's unmuted herself and she's visible, looking gorgeous. And she's going to share her testimony with us. Over to you, Joanne.
Thank you, Viv, and it's so awesome to be here. I get really excited when I remember the beginnings when I first joined Neolife. I really was keen to have more energy. And so, of course, I had to have N. But what I didn't know, it would give me more smiles than just energy. Because I'd had piles for a short while, well, actually for a few months, and they just wouldn't go away. And then suddenly they were gone. So the piles went and the smiles came, and I have not stopped. N is a go-to product for me. But it's not only for me, and I'll share that with you shortly. The next product I'm going to share is acidophilus. Over time, my gut has become very sad when I eat the incorrect foods, and I've now had to change my diet. But I needed to heal it, and together with N and acidophilus, I managed to heal it. No matter what I tried before, it wouldn't get better, and that I can tell people about with absolute confidence. The other thing was my little grandson was born Pemi 5 years ago yesterday. And Viv said to me, put a little bit of acidophilus on his tongue as soon as you can, because, you know, he's got a little gut that isn't well developed. And we started that. And we gave him a little bit of that powder on his tongue. He actually looked like he quite enjoyed it as time went by. And then N. When he had constipation, within 20 minutes of some drops of N, voila, he was also full of smiles. So let me say, acidophilus and N make me smile, and I'm sure a lot of other people too.
Thank you, Joanne. That's super. That was a really good testimony. I see online another dear friend of mine, and that's Phareen. She goes back a long time. I've known her many, many years. And Phareen also has a wonderful testimony, and she will share that with you now. Over to you, Phareen.
Thanks, Viv. Can everybody hear me? I just want to make sure that I've unmuted myself. Great stuff. Okay, thanks, Viv. Yeah, I've been using the Neolife products for over 15 years. And my story is that I started to get symptoms of what I thought was shingles, and due to a bit of stress that was happening at the time. And Viv actually said to me, why don't I try these products and see if I get a testimony. And I remember that I'd still actually gone to the doctor, and he confirmed that I had shingles. And they gave me the medication. And Viv said, I think it was Daily Vitality Pack, Viv, and the vitamin B that I took. And let me tell you, I know people that have had shingles and it's lasted for 6 to 12 months. My symptoms lasted for 2 weeks and then it was all gone. And I definitely can say that it was due to, due to the Neolife products and the Daily Vitality Pack. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you, Phareen. That's awesome. And so I'm just sitting on, bear with me, my clock has disappeared. Oh dear. I'm sitting on 4 minutes and 22. So I'm going to add something else. And that is when about 10 years ago, I had, 11 years ago, I had pomfret, which is a kind of eczema. And I remember going to the doctor. He told me I had that's what it was. Very difficult to heal. I'd have to be on cortisone for most of my life. That's what he said. And yes, anyway, I went and Googled what I needed. And boy, after some really fantastic vitamin C from Neolife and the omega-3 to reduce inflammation, and my all-time favorite aloe vera gel to take away the itch. Let me tell you something, in 5 weeks, it was completely gone, and I have no scar tissue, and I do not have any eczema anymore. And thanks to NeoLife. So Rory, I've managed to do everything in 5 minutes and 17 seconds, which means I think you'll be pleased. And I'm going to hand it back over to you. Thank you. And thank you to my team.
Thank you, Viv. That was fantastic. You know, you're really record breaking here. I really am impressed. And thanks. You know, each one of those testimonies, so interesting, different little aspects of it. And for people who are listening to our program tonight, you'll understand that the products actually work and are very, very effective. Fantastic. Thank you, Viv, and thank you, team, for all of that input. Right, the next lead I'm going to introduce you to is, her name is Bonny. Bonny is a very successful Emerald Director as well, and she has a very strong team coming through. So Bon, I know you're online somewhere. Let me find you. And Bonny, will you just switch on all of your gear there?
I'm on.
Okay, Bonny, over to you. Thank you.
Okay. Hi, everyone. It's always such a treat being here on a Thursday evening with our VisionLife family. I've selected 3 people to talk on what the product has meant to them. And the reason I've chosen them is because they are just phenomenal users of the product. They've been in the business for quite some time, but they really have, as we used to say, goldenized their homes. And I'm just going to have a very quick testimony from myself, and it isn't on the product, but it's just to say, so often we're nervous about introducing new people to the business, but when I look at these 3 people, they have turned out to be some of my closest friends, and that's one of the huge benefits of reaching out to people and building a business. So first of all, I'd like to call on Margaret.
Hello. Hi, can everybody hear me? Thanks, Bon. That was that was lovely. Yes, well, I'm quite excited to share with everybody what my favorite product is, and that would be the carotenoid. Basically, because I was diagnosed with quite a severe degenerative lung condition, which gave me asthma. And I was told that I would be on oxygen by the time I was 65. So I started on the carotenoid, and I haven't had any more asthma attacks, no more coughing, no more wheezing, and I'm absolutely fine. The other part of it that has really just been of such benefit to me is that as you can see, I wear glasses. I've worn glasses for many years, but for the last 4 or 5 years that I've been using the carotenoids, I haven't had any changes to my prescription, and that's, to me, is just absolutely fabulous. And then lastly, the other thing that I've noticed is that the carotenoids help to protect my skin from sunburn. Because I'm quite fair, it's really stops that dreadful severe burns if I ever get caught out in the sun, and I don't turn into one big freckle as a result. So I've really enjoyed the carotenoids. So thank you very much for letting me share that. Thanks, Bon.
Oh, Max, thank you so much. It was wonderful. And now I have great pleasure in calling up Aphie. Aphie was one of my best friends at school, and we hadn't seen each other for years and years, and we reconnected, and she joined the business. So Aph, can I hand over to you?
Yes, am I loud and clear and all okay? Super. Well, good evening, everyone. My NeoLife or VisionLife family. Well, with its head to knee to toe benefits, I love the omega-3 salmon oil plus. Having had a bad bout of long COVID last year, knowing that omega brings health to my somewhat foggy brain and loss of memory. It's brought health to my heart, I know that, and joints, arthritic joints. It's lowered my cholesterol level, and just knowing that it reduces inflammation by a huge amount, 68% in just 2 months, this pure product that even pregnant women can use has made me a healthier and happier person. So thank you.
Thanks, my Av. And now my darling Trish, last but not least.
I've just turned my microphone on. I hope you can hear me. And my just favorite, I've loved Nutrients organic beauty products from when they were very first came on the market with Neolife. They are organic, they're cruelty-free, and they make my skin feel absolutely fantastic. And I've shared them with some relatives, and they also love them as well. So I thoroughly recommend using the Nutrients Beauty, Organic Beauty regime. And it's just fantastic. Thanks very much, Bonnie. And bye-bye, everyone.
Thank you, Trish. And your skin is looking beautiful. I don't know how long that took us, Rory, but I hope we were on time.
Bonnie, that was fantastic. You know, you are surprising me. You're also on time and on cue, and it's absolutely wonderful. And, you know, all of the information is so good and so varied. And it's so nice to get this feedback from so many different people, which I really do appreciate. So Bonnie and your team, thank you so much for your input tonight. It's so valued. Okay. So the next leader, thanks, Bon, appreciate it. The next leader I'm going to speak to is a lady who is now what we call a One Ruby director, which means she has a very large team and has built a very good business, solid business, and has obviously a good income source from it. And I'm going to ask Antoinette. Ant, are you with us? Antoinette, if you could just switch on your mic and your video. There you are. And over to you, Ant. Thanks very much for joining us tonight. Thank you.
Thank you, Rory. Good evening, everybody. Rory knows he puts me on the spot about the products and I get very excited. So I'll use all the other time that people didn't use. Team, are you ready? The first person I want to introduce to you is a senior manager, a solid, consistent senior manager in my team that is going for director. Welcome, Gavin. Gavin, you've got a very nice testimony. I was very excited.
Thanks, Antoinette. Evening, everyone. And Viv, thanks very much. I'm going to have to steal a minute or two of yours, so thanks so much. My testimony is really about the synergy between CoQ10 and Full Motion, and a bit of background to that. I've been playing hockey for close on 30 years now, and as you can imagine, for 30 years I've been pounding on the turf, and my knees really have been taking a hammering. About 4 years ago, I found Full Motion, and that's when I basically joined Neolife. I really noticed the difference last Monday after taking CoQ10 for about 4 days. Normally, I sit in front of my computer all day long, and then when I get up, I've got to do a very slow stretch to get the knees going, and then hobble across to the kitchen or wherever. And then last Monday, I got up, ooh, no pain. Okay, that's nice. Carry on working. Okay, maybe they'll come later on in the day. Oh, nice, no pain. I like it. Okay, there's something in this. So what I did, I checked all my times for the 2 games that I'd had previous to that. And lo and behold, I'd actually covered an additional 20% of the turf during those 2 games. And then I thought back and I thought, okay, that's very nice. I wasn't tired at the end of each game. Oh, nice. And then the next day, when your muscles are normally sore, they weren't. So something definitely works. So I take it all the time now, so it's working well. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Gavin. That's awesome. Keep taking and keep playing. We're very happy to have you on the team. While Gavin is speaking, Gavin is in the downline of Imogene. a very dear friend and a director in my team. She's on holiday and contacted me and said she doesn't have reception. So she sent me her testimony, and I want to read this to you because it's important to me. 25 years ago, this is Emma Jean Kenton. 25 years ago, I was diagnosed with breast cancer. This was a shock. I had the recommended lumpectomy, then chemotherapy and radiotherapy. I had to drive her there. I know the story. At that time, a colleague, she was introduced to NeoLife, and we weren't familiar with NeoLife then yet. I wasn't in NeoLife then yet. And at the time, a colleague introduced her to take Fight to Defense and Pro Vitality. I have annual checkups, and today I'm still clear. I give thanks to God for leading me to NeoLife, which has given me the good health. Cancer-free for 25 years. Thank you, Imogene. Now I want to introduce you to another senior manager in my team that is relocated to Cape Town. Very happy there, and I'm very happy to have her on the call tonight. Liesel, you can tell us your testimony.
Hello, everybody. Evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay. Well, first of all, I just wanted to say that we've been using the products for many years, and we were migraine sufferers as a family, my husband and I. Unfortunately, we had our kids and they started getting migraines as well at a young age, and I put them on the TreaNN and omega-3 salmon oil plus, which really worked well for us. And you know, with teenagers going through exams, going through the stress of things, they really were battling with anxiety, and then the migraines would come. And I mean migraines as in bilious attacks. And anyway, they were on that, and they have just been amazing. I don't think we've had a migraine, any of us in our family, for 2 years. And we added magnesium to that, to our TreaNN and omegas, and they have been amazing with exams, just with coping and stress levels. We've all just been coping so well. And I can just say thanks to NeoLife and thanks to TreaNN and omega and magnesium. The three as a combination are fantastic for my teenagers and helping them with stress and all the walks of life that teenagers have to go through. So thank you so much.
Thanks a lot, Liesel. Fantastic. Keep it up. And then I want to introduce you to a new friend of mine that I met here in Belita when I moved here 2.5 years ago, Claudia Greenwood. Claudia, would you please tell us your walk? I introduced Claudia to a product or two, and she had fantastic results. I want her to tell you about that.
Thanks, Antoinette, and hi, Viv, and everybody else. Nice to be here. Yes, well, I met Antoinette, as she said, at one of the presentations, and she introduced me to TreaNN, but I'm not going to go into that product. It is one of my favorites. Everybody who knows me knows about TreaNN, whether they want to know about it or not. But the product I want to share with you this evening is acidophilus. So I had gut comfort and so on, and when I spoke to Antoinette, she said, you know what, she recommended acidophilus, and I took it for a while, and I just actually felt fabulous. There was no discomfort, there was no bloating, it was just absolutely wonderful. I felt great, and when you feel great, you feel happy. Okay. And then my husband Glenn, he got diverted. Well, he's got diverticulitis. Sorry, that's a bit of a tongue twister. And anyway, he tried all sorts of things. A bit of a skeptic, I must say, in terms of natural products, like a lot of people, saying, well, do these things really work, and do they really work so well, and is it going to take months, and so on. Anyway, I said to him, well, what have you got to lose? Do you want to stay as you are, or do you want to try something? Anyway, he got onto acidophilus amongst, other supplements that he was taking. And that was it. I left him to it. And one day he said to me, Claudia, the acidophilus is finished. So I said, okay, well, why are you telling me? So he says, well, I need some more. And I said, why? So he said, because my diverticulitis is playing up again. I said, oh, okay. When did your acidophilus finish? He said he finished it like 2 weeks before. And that for me is testimony. So often, if we're feeling good, we don't realize that something's actually working, that whatever you're taking is doing you good until you stop taking it. And then you notice the difference. And for me, Glenn's testimony is absolutely fabulous. I spoke to him earlier and I said, I'm going to talk about you tonight. He says, you go ahead and do that. He says, because that stuff works. So there we go. That's the story of the acidophilus and diverticulitis.
Thanks a lot, Claudia. Yes, it's heartwarming. The products work. That's the main line. Then I also want to give you a testimony from Gwendolyn Ngubane, a lady, a friend of mine that I've known for many, many years. Came to me earlier, the end of last year, and said to me, sorry, she can't be on the call, so I promised to do a testimony. Hot flushes. What can she do for hot flushes? So, you know me, if you're on the call, what do I give? Trianine and cruciferous in combination. So she took 3 trianine and 2 cruciferous a day. It worked like a dream. But then she phoned me and said, this wart on my leg, do you think any of these products could have had anything to do with it vanishing? So cruciferous helps with warts. Very good. Then I want to give you a testimony or two, just quick. Went for my vitality screening and was tested for glaucoma, and the count on both my eyes was up. So I had to go and see a doctor and get some medication. There's no ways that will be the day. So I did some study and had a look at the products and took flavonoids and multi-mineral, full dosage, 2 of each a day for a month, 3 months, whatever. Went back for a test. No glaucoma. Had no glaucoma for the last 3 years. I just take a flavonoid and a multi-mineral every evening. Came back from holiday and needed to clean my couches. I had people in my home and took the carpet glow, 2 caps into a bowl, liter of water with a sponge, and you just froth it up, make foam. Apply that foam to your upholstery and to your Persian carpets and the loose mats, whatever. It dries fast and it looks absolutely fantastic. Even Boyu said to me, man, this stuff's working. So then you just lightly brush it. It's fantastic. And then the last one, CoQ10. I'm a high energy person, but I've got low blood pressure very often. So that doesn't go together with this heat. And I found that for the last 2 weeks that I've taken CoQ10 together with my Pro Vitality and 1 extra trianine every day, I've had the energy day long. It just makes that difference that you don't realize. And if you come to the end of the day, you realize this works. It's been working. So keep taking your Neolife. It works.
Oh, fantastic.
Thank you, team. Thank you, Rory.
And that was brilliant. Well done to all of you. You know, the variety, the information coming from people who believe in what they're doing, it's phenomenal. So thank you so much, Ant, and all of your team. That information was really brilliant. You know, so what are we learning? We're learning that the Neolife range is unbelievably good. And, you know, they are products that actually work. But, you know, so if you want to go ahead in life or go ahead in business, you know, I think the first thing is to get to grips with your product. And there's no shortcut to that. The first and best way is to start using them throughout your home. Totally convert your home to the range, which is a good starting point. But I'm going to suggest that in 2022, you look at this thing a little bit in greater depth, because, you know, Neolife provides an incredibly good backup service to us. In fact, there is online, you can go online. If you go online to the Neolife University, it's called, you'd actually go on to, it's africa.neolifeu.com, okay? africa.neolifeu.com, and that's just the U for university. I really would encourage you to go onto that website and register, okay? It's a free service, and you put your name down and your details on it, and there are 9 modules covering different facets of the Neolife range. And you go onto each of those modules, those courses. You're instructed by world-leading scientists. They give you the information you need about the product. And at the end of it, there's a little questions and answers, which you just go through. It's very simple. Anyone can do it. You know, it's a very good course to do. But the beautiful part about it, at the end, you have the confidence in the product, but you also get a certificate saying that you are qualified in that particular module. So I really encourage you to go into that university, Neolife University website, and do that just for your own confidence. And that is going to be a tremendous builder for your business in this coming year. Now, tonight, we're also very privileged. We have a dear friend and colleague who's been with us for a number of years, and he is a doctor by profession, but he is an authority on, I believe, nutrition today. And I've asked Dr. B to come on, Dr. Barry Bland to come on board, and just to sort of round off this talk tonight, and also to give you some specific information on this new product of ours, CoQ10. So Dr. B, you around somewhere? Can you please talk on? Hello, Barry. Welcome.
Hi, Rory. Thank you.
Very nice to have you with us.
Good evening, guys. And Jay, the stories are really good. And I think Rory's talking about the university program on the Neolife. It really is useful to go into that. It just means that you have a better background to the whole of all of our products. But I think what's come out very strongly this evening is that you need to use the product. And that way you get the idea of what it does. Now, when you use the product, you don't have to know how it works, why it works, any of those things, as long as it works. Now, we've got that scientific advisory board that is just so brilliant at picking out the things that we need over the years. When you see that we've had Formula 4, which was the very first thing, and then things like carotenoids and omega and the NutriShake and all of those things that are vital for our good health. And yet they've come on board over a period of time because of bright scientists. Now, I would never hope to be anywhere near understanding what they know in amongst the 9 or 10 of them as it is at the moment. But, that doesn't matter. All I want to know is that someone knows, and that there is someone who has got it all together. And all I want to know then is, does it work? And if it works for me, and it works for the person I'm speaking to, and it works for my family, what a pleasure. And then, this brand new product, CoQ10, strangely enough, well, not strangely enough, it's not new. We've had to use CoQ10 in our mitochondria that are in the cells. They're like little electric generators in the cell, and they run the cell. Now, Gavin, as you were talking about, you know, exercising and starting to not have the post-oxygen debt problems of stiffness and all that sort of thing, as you get fitter, you develop more mitochondria in each muscle cell. That's part of what fitness is. And so to understand that CoQ10 is so important in those little electric generators, those mitochondria, in order to be able to produce the energy for the cell to function correctly, it's very obvious in a muscle. But it happens in the lung, it happens in the brain, happens in the eye, happens in the liver. CoQ10 is all over the place. And the fact, which I, you know, new things you realize, you learn. By the age of 50, your ability to produce CoQ10 has dropped. Now, you know, that's perhaps why part of our aging process. And that's reversible. That's the beauty of it. I'm not going to say, you know, you are going to live to 200, but you want to live well, however long you live. I've always said that. I want to be well when I die. And here with the CoQ10, you know, NeoLife has the ability of identifying things that are necessary for us. But then they don't rush with it. They go and look and find the best sources, the best way of treating those sources so that they don't get destroyed in getting it into a tablet or a capsule. And then the best way of delivering it into the gut. A couple of people have talked about acidophilus this evening. And you know, that the way that the acidophilus is delivered into the gut is brilliant, and it works. And CoQ10, here we are, when Liz was saying that it just breaks down very rapidly in the stomach. And so you start to absorb it very quickly. And so, Gavin, that was your benefit that you had experienced that, and very quickly. So, you know, and of course, the other thing that the company does so well, these little pamphlets, read them. They're not just advertising, I promise you. Read them. There is such good information in here that, you know, just in 5 minutes, we're certainly not going to get through everything. But I mean, some of the things that I've been talking about, the mitochondria, that gives you a little bit of an idea of what our mitochondria looks like. And then the fact that the energy is produced and how it is produced. If you get a good mind picture of that, when you're speaking to people, you don't need to have all the science. I promise you, you don't. All you need to do is know that it works, and that you can say that with complete honesty when you're saying that to a new person, that it's going to be of benefit. So use the things the company produces. We just thank you, NeoLife, for being able to produce something as effective as the CoQ10, as everything that they produce. But, you know, here is something that, again, it's one of those things that everybody should, and if you're approaching 50, you should be taking it. I think that's the answer. But learn as much as you can, but use the product. Thanks, Rory. Thanks, guys.
Barry,
really good stories.
Barry, thank you very much indeed. That was brilliant. Thank you. That just put it all together. You know, I'm just thinking here, we've just touched tonight on a few of the products. In the NeoLife range, we've got over 100 products, well, approximately 100 products. And there's the home care range, which is a biodegradable range of products that every household should be using, because, you know, pollution is a major worldwide problem, and we should not be contributing towards that pollution. Then there's that nutrients range. There's not a better skincare range in the world, and it's up to date, it's vegan friendly, it's natural, it's everything you'd want of a skincare range. So that's another thing. Then there's the personal care, hair shampoos, conditioners, etc. There's a complete range there. And then there's this huge nutritional range. Now, I'm going to ask you as distributors, when you've used a product that you've got value from, I would like you to please just jot down some points, because and let us know, let your leaders know that you've got a very good testimony on, it could be on the laundry product, it could be on the super 10 or whatever it might be. And then we will do more of these talks in the future where we will just incorporate those testimonies into this type of talk. So tonight we've spoken about feeling better, we've spoken about looking better. What about the living better? Well, you know, in our ever-changing world, you know, the world has changed so much. The things that we used to take for granted, the income streams, the investments, the pensions and things, no longer are what they used to be. And so, you know, we've got to investigate alternate ways of creating an income stream for yourself and your family. And Neolife fits that bill 100%. So I would strongly recommend that if you're watching this program for the first time tonight, get back to the person who invited you down and investigate. They'll put you onto a website, which will give you so much more information. But I would suggest you investigate it and link to the company, you know, link to the company, because that would give you an income stream, which will give you income for life in many instances. So I think we've covered a lot of ground. And, you know, there's a little motto that life is either a daring adventure or a long gray road of mediocrity. You don't want to live that long gray road of mediocrity. Take hold of this opportunity and speak to the person who linked you up tonight. And I would suggest become part of Neolife, and it's a life-changing experience which will allow you to look better, feel better, and live better as well. So from all the team, I want to thank you all tonight. You were fabulous. I'm just so proud to be associated with you. Your testimonies were absolutely exceptional, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart for the work you do. So good night, and God bless you all. See you soon.